I'm going to bring in another person here, actually. Really
I
quick.
do see a strange man backstage.
You're here. I'd like to welcome someone else. We got DiscoDuck99 here. Hello, DiscoDuck. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Welcome.
Thank you.
Even better now that you're here.
Welcome, man.
I don't know if that's true. I think I just brought the quality of the stream down just a little bit.
That is not true at all.
No, not with that voice. No.
You would
Mr.
show up
ASMR
wearing
voice.
underwear on your head.
Yeah.
The whole, stream quality would have gone up.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to join earlier, but like someone else, I wasn't wearing pants, so I felt I should put pants on first and then join.
I love it. Really quick, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, okay, that works. Hi, I'm DiscoDuck99. I stream Lego, and on Friday nights I do a fun trivia night. It's kind of become a big staple for my community. I might actually be known more for the trivia now than Lego, but I consider myself a Lego streamer still until that changes.
Welcome.
You'll always just be known as the pink fluffy unicorn guy. Like that.
Pink fluffy unicorn. Jeremy and I do get along great. Yeah. I actually still beside me have a giant unicorn costume that has not made an appearance yet. It had a chance to make an appearance and it didn't.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
So for the charity stream that just happened for Stand Up to Cancer, that was one of my rewards or challenges. It just never got met, so it's still sitting there. It's actually on loan to me from a fantastic neighbor of mine, so I can borrow it again when I want, and another charity stream it'll make an appearance, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Why does your neighbor have a unicorn costume?
That is a very good question.
Doesn't every neighbor?
Yeah. You don't have one?
I'm now wondering, like, I want to text my neighbor right now and go, do you happen to have a
I think you should. I think you should wake them up.
It's a good question.
Let me ask.
When he shows up with a unicorn costume, he or they show up with a unicorn costume, Zach, you are committed to wearing it.
Right.
Oh,
but no, my neighbor actually has, I don't know if it's a side business, but he has many inflatable costumes. I could go over there and become Mario if I wanted. The other day he was wearing, who's the blue guy from Monsters Inc?
Sully.
He was wearing a Sully. So he actually every Friday goes and picks up his kids from the bus stop wearing one of these costumes.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's so cute.
I want to be friends with this guy.
That's cool.
Get him on stream too.
Yeah.
Let's meet your neighbor.
That would be an interesting thing to try and do.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like our Brady real quick. I like our Brady Bunch moment that we're having. I feel like we should look up and say hi to him more,
And wave and then look down and
I don't know if it's for anyone else. The squares are different on guest star than they are on the stream.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah,
that's me because I put them. I arranged them a certain way in OBS, not knowing specifically how they look.
Okay.
They match for me, but I think it's different for each of you.
Oh, okay.
Did you have anything you wanted to chat about?
Nothing particular. I mean, I really am intrigued at all the conversations going around right now about the ads, and that's kind of where I was like, maybe I'll jump in when you guys started talking about ads and stuff.
Sure.
Because I do think what Twitch is doing, I think they're going to fail at it. This is, again, personal opinion based on some dealings with Amazon ads in general. So in my full-time job, I actually do deal with a lot of ads, and one of the platforms that we've dealt with is Amazon affiliate and Amazon ads. They're terrible at it, so I don't have high hopes for Twitch in that regard. And
you are correct,
but I do
really feel
well.
I don't think the ad thing is gonna work out for them.
No.
But go ahead, Disco.
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately it. I don't think the ad platform's going to work out for them. I would love to see them pivot into a different direction and go back to their roots. Even they were purely driven by subs and the community engagement aspect for their monetization, and I think that's their bread and butter. Figure out better ways to do that, better splits. I don't know. Push more Prime if you have to. Push a whole Prime subscribe to Twitch service. Charge me $25 a month and give me sub access to everyone. I don't know. Something along those lines is where I would aim, but
they're listening. You know what I mean? They're not listening to the criticisms and critiques and even the attaboys on some of the stuff that they're doing. So they're going to experiment, and that's how any business or streaming platform or whatever is going to grow, is by experimentation and what works and what doesn't. And that the whole ad thing can just be that potentially. They do offer, I can't remember what it's called. More, you probably know. They offer a paid service that takes away that, right? What's it?
Twitch Turbo.
Turbo.
Twitch Turbo, $9 US a month. I am on it because I was sick of it. So wherever I am, I don't see ads.
Yeah.
So there. Sorry, I missed that. Twitch Turbo, $9.99 a month. You said and
$9 a month. No ads across the site.
Okay, but you don't get the other sub benefits, right? It's just no ads.
Correct. No ads.
Okay.
Subbing. I've always looked at subbing to a streamer is more about support than taking away the ads. I mean, don't get me wrong; it's a great benefit.
Same.
And I'm also kind of like an emote collector, or like I like collecting them like Pokemon. Like I gotta catch them all. If I find, like I found this whole licking emote that somebody jumped into my stream and started dropping. I'm like, whose emote is that?
Oh my god!
And I was like, please,
with the licking emote.
Yeah, and so I don't even watch this person. I don't even know who this person is. But I'll be damned if I'm not subscribed to them because I wanted that licking emote.
Do you think you'll ever go to their channel to see what they're about, or are you just fine with the emote?
I stopped by one time. They're a VTuber. I stopped by one time and I said, I appreciate your emote so much. Thank you. Thank you for all you're doing for this community. And then I informed them that it was spreading like wildfire throughout the Lego community. And this person's like, that's really weird. It's just the way it is. And like they had no clue that a Lego community existed or anything like that. But it's I do. And so that's the way I look at it. I look at it like if you have the funds, that's the way I can support that particular streamer. So
right.
Even if you have a turbo thing, like that's what that is for. But not everybody has those funds, and I get it. Like Twitch needs to make money too. Like they've got a staff, you know what I'm saying? Like they have a staff making things like what we're using right now tonight, and they have to pay for that somehow, and ads is a way to do that.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out a better way. Like I feel like ads are inescapable. I feel like, is there a better way? There's got to be. I'm no expert in the ad space, so I don't have any solutions, but I feel like there's got to be something.
Yeah.
You would hope.
You would think even if they used, some live event type of stuff with a lot of ad buys that had, strategically run commercials and things like that would help offset some of those costs. It's Amazon, for God's sakes. They got money. You know what I mean? So they've got Thursday Night Football. You put that on the Twitch platform and you sell ads that way, and you run it with that as well. Like like you said, Amor, there's ways that you can do it that you're not always just populating a ton of ads on somebody's channel. But I also think they kind of hide the paid service to remove the ads. It's not something that's out there and easy to find.
Yeah, people don't really know about Turbo as much as I would expect, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out there really quick for folks. Thoughts on the Lego community, like the state of the Lego community, for those that are more deeply involved with it or have thoughts on it, opinions.
Ladies first.
I don't build enough for starters, so my apologies. I still need to go buy a new set.
I don't build enough either. I'm more variety now than I've ever been.
I'm like running out of room. I keep saying that, but then Chad will tell me, you got so much room behind you, girl. Look at all that floor space. You can do something with that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. I guess you got a point.
More shelves.
More shelving, more little tables. I just need little tiny little coffee tables all over behind me.
There you go.
That's what
set them up there.
That's what all the people on all the artwork for on all the Lego boxes do. They just have them,
the lifestyle photos that they have on the website.
Yeah, they just have a little table set up in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, oh, look at this random table.
It's gonna go right in the middle of our living room for the rest of our lives. Why not?
Yeah.
I find the more tables you have, the more places you can put backlog stuff. That's what you guys just can barely see right off there.
You have a yeah, my backlog is off camera.
Did you finish the jazz quartet, Ash?
Did I what?
Did you finish the jazz quartet?
I sure did. And it's living in our living room now next to a bunch of our vinyl records. So it's like a nice little
thematic
mashup.
It would look like it would go on Lego's website in a lifestyle photo.
It's a very, very sexy little set. I love it. It looks great.
Gotta get the case for it. Do you have the case for it?
No, I don't. I saw it. It looked beautiful though. Because you pointed it out to me. I'm like, dang.
It's so good. You need to buy
it. Is it? Okay.
Don't buy another set. Get that.
Okay. Why are we whispering?
I don't know.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
I was going to let Amor continue to do his thing while we were having this.
No, I was just wondering if any of you guys had thoughts about like how the community's been in terms of like growth or just the shift of content across the board, because I do feel like things have been changing a little bit in the brick building space. Nothing bad. I just noticed it feels a bit different. I can't put my finger on it.
I do think that we're seeing more and more Lego builders branching out, even more than when we were chatting more and more a couple of months ago. You saw it back then that more and more Lego builders were branching out, more gameplay.
Yeah.
Zach and the boys, they're doing their Destiny thing a lot.
The Destiny crew. Yeah.
There's a lot of that. I mean, I know April B and Lego Wiz and stuff, they're doing game nights a lot more as well. So they're branching out that way. You're seeing more and more people branching out. I mean, Local's back to doing his Dimensions thing, which is fantastic. I love Dimensions, but you're just seeing more gaming happening, I think. And it's interesting to see that that's happening, just that people are branching out, trying to add that little bit of variety, not necessarily taking away from their Lego bread and butter or their main thing, but you are seeing it a little more. And I guess I'm hopeful that will bring more people to the Lego community as a whole as well. Like, we are such a small subset of a small subset on Twitch, and you don't necessarily see that all the time, but I like the branching out, I think, is what I'm saying. And hopefully it does help the community as a whole.
It's a good observation. Actually, that's what I was kind of thinking without trying to like fish it out of you guys. I was seeing a lot more variety, like behavior from people who have traditionally been primarily Lego.
I mean, we got Fred playing Destiny
on stream. Yeah.
What?
I didn't expect that. I was surprised.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. It's fine. I think variety. I think variety is fine. I think it's You know, your stream is still your domain. It's your little space. Do what you want. You know, Ash is having a great time doing some of the what is it? I don't know what it's called. Needlepoint. What is that called?
You're close. Embroidery.
Embroidery. Thank you.
What's the thing?
It's a
There
thing
are
with a
needles
needle.
involved.
We could call it needlepoint. That's fine.
Needles in the yarn.
You're
and it's
stabbing
going
things.
out, you're stabbing things.
I don't know.
I would call it fencing. I have no idea, but it,
That sounds fine. We could call it fencing. I'm just
we call it fencing
you
with
know.
yarn.
Yes.
But it's cool.
That sounds
like,
cool.
It's you know, it's fine. You know,
Not
a
hardcore
more
when you say it that way.
We love
Get a
you,
couple
Ash.
of parries in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Fiber arts.
Fiber arts.
Yeah, fiber arts. I
you
love
know,
it.
AZ's moved a completely full-time Destiny streamer now. He doesn't even build Lego anymore.
He's our
Not that
pro
he really
Destiny
did.
streamer.
I just don't feel like you should feel, again, as it because it's your space. I don't feel like you should feel you're being forced to provide one specific kind of content. You're
Mhm.
doing it because you want to do it. So do the content you want to do.
Yeah.
Most of the time we're showing up for you as a person, not necessarily the content that you're
That's-
providing.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was apprehensive of even streaming Spell Slingers when I was doing Spell Slinger lunches. I was like, no one's gonna watch this. No one's gonna watch this. So, but
That's great.
I'm glad.
I appreciate the daytime streams. Gets me through a workday. So I appreciate all of you that stream during the day. Ash, more local daytime streams are great.
I don't know. I've seen the I continue to see more and more people popping in as streamers building Lego.
Yeah.
And it seems like every single and no exaggeration, it seems like every single day there's somebody new that I haven't seen before, I haven't followed before. That somebody's either rating into or mentioning their name, or I just happen to see through a search that's building Lego. And I continue to see more and more video game content creators diving into it from time to time because they realize how freaking cool it really is. But it's a great, we've talked about this before. It's a just chatting stream dressed up with some building of bricks. Now there are a few exceptions to that. You know, I throw Brick and Nick in there as kind of the exception to that, because he is typically really working on creating something, and a lot of times it's really cool because when he engages with the chat or the community to build something specific. Marvelous used to do that a lot. You know, Jang's doing that where he's creating custom things. But and there's a few other set to build and stuff like that are creating these custom projects that are really, really neat. The majority of us, I would say, we are just chatting streams that have this Lego thing going on with it, just to help kind of keep the conversation flowing.
Yeah. I would say my streams have evolved a little bit too, to the point where, it used to be I would hit go, maybe chat for like 5-10 minutes before getting started on a game or Lego or whatever the case may be for that stream. But now here lately, it's just chatting for like an hour, hour and a half, almost up to the 2-hour mark before I even get started into whatever it is that I'm going to be working on for that day.
Yeah.
So it's definitely evolved quite a bit. I would say this has happened within like the past 2 months or so.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I'm loving the chat interaction. Chat's definitely more active than it ever has been in the past couple of months. So, I mean, just that alone gets me even more psyched up to get started for stream, because that's what it's all about. I have fun sharing my hobbies and crafting, on stream, learning embroidery and all that. But at the end of the day, it's getting to chat with all you guys. And the fact that we are having a lot more chats, even focused outside of the work that I'm doing itself, it's been pretty amazing.
That's really awesome. I'm glad to see a lot of people are evolving in terms of like what they're doing. And in like your case, Ash, you're saying that you're able to chat with everyone that's there before you even really get to the thing that you're looking to do. It's really cool. I'm seeing that across the board in a lot of folks who are in the brick building community as well as just in general, but like kind of keeping tabs on a lot of you who started in the last year to 2 years, just the evolution of like kind of where you were, like you were saying earlier, the little baby Ash streamer compared to where you are now. It's really cool to see that. And I'm often baby Ash. I happen to be there most days because I can open your stream up while I lurk and work. And so I've noticed that too, that now you can like chill out and hang out with people, with everyone that shows up for your stream.
You ever stop and wonder though, like we've had such an explosion, especially over the last year, in Lego content creators here on Twitch. Lego content creation on Twitch is not easy. Like it's some of the most complicated streaming setups that Twitch has going on a regular basis. You can think that the video game people, the video game community, they are a face cam sometimes. Their captures, their game capture. Sometimes us Lego people, we've had like 3 cameras going at one time. Like that's not easy to do. And then we've also seen this evolution of, some of us have the crazy shenanigans, and not everybody, but some, even Ash has got some fun. I freaking die sometimes on her stream with some of the stuff she's got going on. But but there's like some crazy, technical stuff going on in the Lego community, and that's not easy stuff. So it's always surprising to me how many people dive into trying to build Lego live on Twitch, considering the technical side that it requires to do. It's damn impressive for the people that actually get a stream on the internet, on Twitch, in that arena. Again, you play a video game on a console these days, they literally have a button on your controller that can send it to Twitch. You know what I mean? Like that's
share,
button, but to do what a lot of what this community is doing, to get that content out on Twitch, it's not easy. And the fact that it still continues to grow is pretty damn impressive.
I agree that it's harder to be like being more variety myself now. I would say the Lego part is harder in terms of technical, like how can I have, like, how's my second camera looking? Is it at a good angle? Do I need a third camera? Etc. Like it's tough. And so I would echo your sentiment of like, it's actually pretty hard. I don't know. I don't know.
Lots of trial and error, for sure, especially if you're just starting out. I mean, like that kind of comes to mind too whenever I'm doing those cooking streams, because I disassemble everything that I got up here.
Oh,
take it all downstairs, and
That
then
sucks.
have it all sitting on my kitchen island,
It'd be easier
just kind of
to-
like haphazardly.
That's
But I
scary.
managed to get it to work somehow. I feel like it could still look better. I think it would be better if eventually I ditched this for like a headset mic or something for like the cooking streams.
For cooking, yeah.
But even that, I mean, like the level of technical difficulties, cameras not working, like, I don't know, an hour before stream's about to start, and then I got to go troubleshoot all that. There's a whole lot of levels, right? It's like a layered cake of things you got to do, not just for like the cooking thing, but for like, Lego building as well. So just getting started out with that, I mean, there's a lot of trial and error to it, but like once you get it all figured out, at least it goes a little bit smoother, but it's still a lot on your plate.
It's always, there's always something, right? There's always something that is either broken, changed, like OBS updates something, or your
I haven't updated
Windows or just whatever. So like I'm always scared of OBS updates, Windows updates. My microphone software does updates every so often, and every point is a place of failure for something to go wrong. So I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dreaded update button it's a scary thing. Like Ash just said, like I haven't updated OBS. I don't know when I'm going to, because it's just always troublesome. Same with StreamerBot. I know a lot of us are using StreamerBot now, and that's another one that you don't want to update, because that's just a sinkhole of hours of fixing things or trying to figure out what's even broken on it.
Yep.
So
I mean, that's usually stuff that I save for the weekend when I'm not streaming. I said, but I didn't try to update this weekend. So I'm like, maybe next weekend Ashley will maybe update her OBS.
Yeah.
Or probably not, honestly. We'll see.
I updated I'm running the update on OBS.
It's working. Who cares?
I'm running up OBS 28 right now.
No issues? You good?
Yes, but
don't do it.
It's not my first rodeo, and I don't recommend it unless you absolutely want to
not
go through.
Yeah, everything's working. Why update?
I don't know, because aren't updates supposed to be good?
Generally, they are. It just depends. So what I tell everyone in the streaming community when this comes up, I say, the more vanilla your setup is, the more okay it is. So if you're running less plugins in OBS, if you're not running StreamerBot or things like it, then update to your heart's content. But every time you add something to that configuration, the more likely it's going to break if you update any one of those things, whether you're updating StreamerBot or you're updating OBS, like something. So I did it, but I knew I had a weekend to look at everything and not if it broke, I could fix it. And so I use StreamerBot for some very mundane things, not to the extent, say, like an AZpinoy would or Amish Ace would, but I do use a lot of plugins. Actually, what's amazing is I use a ridiculous amount of plugins people don't expect by watching my stream. But I had to update like 9-10 different plugins when I updated OBS. And then I had to go through and make sure every single one worked or none of them were broken. And luckily, OBS 28 will tell you that it can't load a plugin. So that's helpful. So when you update, it's like, hey, we couldn't load these plugins. And I was like, cool. Now I need to look at these 5 or 6 plugins that didn't load. And I went through, I updated those. I updated StreamerBot. I took like 2-3 days. I removed some stuff that used Stream Effects, which is a plugin, because I wasn't heavily reliant on it. But someone like AZpinoy is, so he can't do it as easily as I did. But yeah, it's work. The more extras you have, the harder it is to update. But if you don't have the extras, knock yourself out.
I have some extras.
Yeah.
I just don't remember how many extras I have. So maybe I'll just follow Zach's advice and just
If you're working,
we'll remind you how many extras you have.
Yeah. If you're fine, don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna worry about it then.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
OBS 28 has some okay things. They updated the interface. That's the reason why a lot of things broke. They updated some stuff that uses some underlying interface code, and it's very helpful long term. It's a good long term update, but it's breaking a lot of things short term, and that's the problem. But yeah,
there's going to be things that I think you'll love with your design nature that you have, Ash. Like the being able to really move things around on your screen and it giving you that feedback of, you are these many pixels away from this side and this side, so you can line things up more appropriately.
I love that. That
the
is
design
dope.
guy in me is like, thank God that this
I love
exists.
that.
Is that worth all of the other things that are gonna snowball? Because no, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
What is cool, the double-edged sword of it, it has WebSocket 5.0 built into it, which if that doesn't mean anything to you, then awesome. You're probably okay updating anyway.
I don't know what that is.
So WebSocket 5.0 is a way for other apps or plugins or other things to connect to OBS to control it. Things like StreamerBot takes heavy advantage of that, but basically allows that to talk to OBS to control it. And it used to be you have to download a separate plugin to make that happen. Now it's just built into OBS. Like they had the person who built that plugin say, "Hey, do you actually want to make that part of the broadcast software?" And they're like, "Hell yeah." So it's just built in now. Pretty cool. But that's the thing. All these other programs that use WebSocket have to catch up. Once they're caught up, it'll be awesome. But it takes time. It's always borked. It's always AZ and I have these conversations on the regular about how scared he is to do it. And I'm like,
if
it's
this game
fine.
doesn't work, is it even a Lego stream? True Profit.
His stream is borked.
Profit, hey buddy.
What he's got going out right now. Can you imagine? If AZ updated to OBS 28, his computer would probably end up blacking out the entire state of Arizona. Like it would send shockwaves across that entire state with a screaming cowboy that just annihilated the entire power grid of Arizona. And it would all be traced right back to OBS 28 on AZpinoy computer.
I can already see the CNN map with the epicenter being like right above AZ's house with like yeah.
Absolutely.
Do that thing. Everybody do. Let's everybody update to Windows 11 and OBS 28 and then
oh man.
Live.
No, I'm out. Going home now. I was going to say that if AZpinoy updates to OBS 28, we'd never see him on Twitch again. That's where I thought you were going.
It would literally be like that the atomic bomb.
And that's the story we tell future generations of streamers. Like, hey, you know, there's this guy named AZpinoy, and he had the coolest stream. But one day he updated to OBS 28, and now this is a cautionary tale.
Screaming cowboy put us into the apocalypse. You know, we're all sitting around a campfire telling this story because we're all like hiding. You know, his computer would become, you know, sentient, and then just go after us. And
I think at some point everyone will want to go to 28. I think my advice for most people is hold off as long as you can. I'm a brave individual though, so I did it to see. And I do love some of those things that you're talking about. Is it worth updating? No, not really. But it does have some nice bells and whistles. If you have an NVIDIA card, it adds in a lot of NVIDIA broadcast features. So like the blurring of the background or the background noise removal. If you have an NVIDIA card, it's just built into OBS's filters now, which is really cool. So, but it's not, none of that is like, y'all need to update. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't tell people to do it. I do it because I'm crazy, because I want to know because I write a lot of OBS guides as well. So I just want to know how borked it gets.
You're saying it's got the helpful grids though, like where if you're dragging objects, it'll line up, you know, the top of this with the other. Like,
well,
is that what you're talking about?
You'll have numbers too that'll tell you.
It tells you how many pixels away from the edges you are too.
It's very After Effects-y, which I freaking love.
So where is this update button?
No,
that is worth it for me.
And that was the last time we saw DiscoDuck99.
Yeah, no, that's one of my biggest pet peeves in OBS is when setting up and trying to line up different elements. I hate that I have to go and try and get it pixel perfect and find out exactly, you know, which X and Y it starts at, and then go and
it came in super handy. It came in super handy setting up this overlay.
That, yes.
It also lets you know how you have virtual camera. OBS 28 lets you select which scene you want to be your output for your virtual camera.
Oh, that's nice.
You don't have to sit on that scene the entire time.
Right. So you guys, that's how I'm talking to you in Guest Star. My source in Guest Star is OBS virtual camera, and I'm pointing it to my own webcam. I'm
That's
telling it
pretty
to use my camera scene,
Mhm.
which is really cool. I love you all.
Disco, the update button was pressed.
It was officially
my.
pressed. I'm
Oh
watching.
no! Oh no!
Yep.
Watson
See,
Prayer.
the peer
I gave
pressure
you.
that just
I warned you. No, I wasn't pressuring. I was in fact warning, and it had the opposite
I was gonna
effect.
say we
Yeah, you
did
said not
everything
to.
we
I'm always
could.
like, I'm crazy, guys. I did it. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, that's exactly. Ash heard what I was saying. I said, "I'm
did. I
crazy. Don't
listened
do
to
it."
Sometimes you just need that push.
That wasn't a push.
Even if it's a stop sign.
We were tugging on your coat.
I was saying, "Don't do it." I was saying, "Don't do it."
You may have like been verbally saying no, but deep down inside you were saying, yes, do it. You should do it.
Mm.
Oh no, Disco's a no means yes kind of guy. That's not good.
Oh yeah.
Not good, man.
Not good, man.
No means no.
Amor said no.
Bad.
We have
Disco.
video. Bad. We have video evidence of Amor saying not to.
I mean, I've only gotten 2 errors so far.
Out of
so,
all,
you know.
Oh my god.
my favorite part, out of all of the features that OBS 28
That
actually
was the
offered,
thing.
it was just the simplest
That
part
was
of
the
that
simplest
update.
feature of all of them.
That's what got him. That's the
That's
reason
the
like,
one.
I gotta do it.
You're like, oh, gotta have it.
Jesus.
If I could 100% design OBS layouts in something like Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator, I would, because I rely so heavily on the grid lineup things.
You can though.
So yeah.
You can. You just import them.
We have another guest here.
Oh, this guy.
This guy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Do you want to press the update button with me, AZ?
You're muted.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
You know what? If the stream borks, it's not my fault.
There we go.
Just because I'm the 4th guest, if something borks, it's not
Why
my
wouldn't it be muted if AZ was in the stream?
It'll be Disco's fault because he's updating right now.
Oh my god, guys. I didn't ask for this.
Disco's gonna bork all of us somehow. It's
Wow.
just gonna have far-reaching effects.
I'd like to welcome AZpinoy. Hello, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry.
It's
and,
good.
and this is the other part of like streaming, right? You have like the family stuff going on. It's
Yep.
usually family night right now, so I wanted
Gotcha.
to come in for a few minutes. And I know Ash had the hat thing earlier, and then looking at Zach's and Disco's majestic beard. So I'll just put this on as I introduce myself. My name's AZpinoy. I am
Oh my
a
God.
Destiny's 2 streamer in the Lego brick building community. And hey, how's it going?
Oh my god, I love it so much.
This is
I don't
why
know
it
if I
took
can
him
look at
long to
you.
join us.
I don't
He
know
was
if I can
looking
even
for
look
the
at you
owner.
anymore.
I'm hungry.
Is that what you got from it?
See, I would love for you to just break off one of those bananas and just hand
And just
it
like take
across
off.
to,
That'll be funny if it does.
to Ash.
If
I
it
need
just
some
like breaks off.
potassium.
It's perfectly normal.
Oh my god.
Act natural. How you
I
doing,
love
AZ?
it.
Hey, what are you like?
It's been quite a busy day. Quite
Yeah.
a busy family day.
Yeah.
Walked around the fall fest, bunch of fall festivals going on. So walked around
Oh,
the fall
please tell us
festival.
about the giant hanging meat.
Oh yeah.
So apparently I thought it was like a barbecue stand, but it's actually they sell jerky. So homemade jerky. It's the company's name is Well Hung Meat.
Mhm.
So they had I told I sent them a DM earlier. I was like, this guy's stand wins the fall festival.
Just wins everything. Just
Yeah.
wins life.
I
Yeah.
don't even have to walk around. I was like, great branding.
You win.
That's my new streamer name.
I know, right?
Hung meat.
Uh,
God.
Well-hung meat.
Well hung meat.
Yes.
So good. So good. I'm gonna see if I could do a name change.
Oh my god.
Oh. What's new with you, AZ?
Uh, been been streaming a lot of variety.
Variety actually being
in terms of just playing Destiny 2. Streaming Destiny 2. But you know, like you said, it's kind of like how I mean, Prophet has introduced it. You know, that's where Prophet has started, but then has introduced it to the brick building community, and now you have like you don't even have to put the bat signal on. It's like ArcFox will just pop out of nowhere and saying, "Hey, is it time to raid?" As soon as you press start streaming, even though
He's
you're
always been
streaming
that
Lego.
way. He's always been
Yeah.
that way. I've known
So-
ArcFox for years, and he's a gaming buddy, and he would know. He would know when I'm gaming. And thank you, Zach, for gifting the sub to Well Hung Meat Commander.
It actually exists.
It's a person here on
I
Twitch.
can't believe it actually exists.
That's
I-
my
I would-
bedroom name.
That's my other.
I would
that's my
laugh
other
if
Twitch
that's
name.
actually the if I would
You
laugh if
don't
that's
call me
actually the
Well Hung
guy.
Meat Commander for nothing.
Everybody go give Well Hung Meat Commander a follow.
Can I click their name?
Shout out to Will Hung Meat Commander.
Shout out to Well Hung.
Oh my god.
So they created their account in 2018. They have 0 followers, but that would be funny if there's like 50 followers all of a sudden.
Was that?
I'm
Wait,
their
hold on.
biggest
Was
fan
that?
now.
Is that the right name? Did I? Yeah, that's the right one. I shouted out. Look at that.
Oh my god.
It's a thing.
It's
That's the thing.
Oh, y'all are the best. I love it.
It's awesome. But yeah, my family grew by 2 because my younger kids had invited some of their friends, so it was fun walking around with 8 kids. But the good thing that 2 of them are teenagers, so they did their own thing. But yeah, just doing a lot of family stuff
Very cool.
and enjoying the talks that you all have been having
Oh, thanks,
while
man.
I was lurking around.
Do you have any thoughts on brick building community in general? The state of the
In terms of the
Ca-
state of it, I'm just
Yeah.
glad that I know we were joking around about Destiny 2 or any of that sorts, but it's actually nice to see the community embracing all the other activities that people are showing off in their streams now, because yeah, we started with Lego, but I mean, we do have other hobbies.
Yeah.
Right. And then now you get to showcase that or those other hobbies to the community, like Ash with all the variety of games that she plays, Disco with the trivia stuff,
Yeah.
right? And Zach with the TikTok leggings. And but yeah, it's just nice that you can show it off and people embracing that and buying TikTok leggings. Buying TikTok and getting into Gundam, getting into the other games too that you're
Yeah.
playing. Like, and even you with you showcasing, I know it's a game that you developed, but now you're getting all the other members of the brick building community who's played Magic the Gathering before too,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
You kind of coming out of the woodwork, playing that, having played that same game or having been in that same hobby in the past.
Yeah.
Or even currently.
I think it's an interesting evolution that we're seeing across the community, and I know some of us in the community are variety to begin with, right? Like Ash here is one of those folks, but I think we're starting to see like a lot of people who were primarily brick building or switched to brick building who are now either supplementing it with other content or completely going variety. And I noticed that as a whole, that we're starting to see that across the board for maybe the vast majority of people in the community. And I was wondering what y'all thought about that in terms of, is that a natural evolution, or is that because it's a trend within the brick building community that other people are starting to branch out more? Like, thoughts on that? Any explanations from you all?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I joked about it, but I mean, we really are kind of which is there's nothing wrong with this, but we are kind of a copycat community, right? Like we see what others are doing, and we want, if we like that and that fits our style, we want to try to incorporate some of that into what we do. And no, we're not all going to wear lobsters on our heads, but if you know, if somebody shows us, if somebody takes the chance and shows us it is okay to branch out and build Gundam, and people are still going to show up, then that gives us, if that is a passion of yours, that almost gives you permission to do it and say it is okay. Like, the people are still going to come and show up for you, and not just the content that you're providing, but for your personality and you know, the genuine connection that you have with your community. And if that it means playing video games, so be it. If that means doing art fencing, whatever the hell it is that Ash does, you know, that's also, you know, fine. And so I think I think people will look around and will see that, you know, that variety is, you know, is okay. But again, it all comes back to just you be you. Don't try to be somebody else. Just you be you. And if you being you is wearing a lobster on your head and doing art fencing while building Gundam, then that's fine. That's you. That's who you are. If you is just building Lego every stream that you do, then that's you, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being anything but yourself is going to get exhausting in the long run anyway.
Right.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, we need more paint by numbers people, you know, whatever. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You know, if you know, the CNoop 76 has painted numbers on stream. Ace was painting numbers on stream during his Babe Ross cosplay. But that's the beauty of Twitch, right? Like, Twitch has got an amazing variety of content, and you know, that you can find out there, where it is people doing you know, cooking streams, amazing artwork, you know, live music, live DJing, 3D printing, the you know, leather making, you know, the metal working that Lone Mountain Knife Co. does, woodworking. I mean, good lord, like, it's, you should never feel like you're stuck in a specific niche. Like, do whatever makes you happy. You're even if, let's say, you know, a few of your normal viewers aren't into that particular type of content that you're doing. Because of that, it's not a reflection on you personally. It's just they would rather go watch that particular day, go watch somebody that is doing something else. That's fine. Maybe you grab another person that has never been to your stream before because you went variety, because you tapped into a different thing. And that's also fine, because then they get introduced to you, to your personality, and to the rest of your community that is still around, and they see how freaking amazing it is, and they stick around for a while.
Yeah. Do any of you guys have thoughts or advice for someone who's like either a game streamer or a Lego streamer, and they're like, I really want to branch out and do multiple things on my channel? What kind of advice would you all give to someone in that place?
Go experiment. Do it. Basically, just make the switch, go experiment. I mean, give it some time as well. I mean, as Zach was saying, there is a chance that, you know, your first couple of experimental streams or whatever you're branching out into, your numbers may drop. And, you know, if you're looking at those things, and if those things really, really, really do matter to you, and they do to some people, stick with it though, because as Zach said, you may lose a couple of viewers who, you know, they don't want to watch you knitting or reading a book or whatever you're branching into that day. They may just want to stick with their Lego for a bit. But as Zach mentioned, you'll possibly bring in some new streamers, but that might take a week, 2 weeks, 3 streams, 10 streams.
Takes time.
But as long as you're having fun, that'll come across, and you know, your community will see that and thrive on that, and you'll start bringing in more people that way. And it really is your personality that people are coming for, your engagement, your enjoyment level. Like if you're there and you're just 100% checked out and bummed out, that comes across. So if you're doing something that you enjoy, that also comes across, and that's what people thrive on, is the smiles on my face brings smiles to other people's faces. And so you always have to be doing something you're enjoying. So if you think you're going to enjoy something other than Lego, go do it, and put a smile on everyone's face.
100%. Yeah.
100% agree. Well, it's kind of like when somebody asks, should I stream? What do I need? Stuff like that. It's like what we would say. Just
do it.
Just do it and go from there and expand from there. You don't need 10 cameras, 3 screens, 10 lights, RGB
like
lights.
AZpinoy.
I don't have 3 lights. I don't have
you're looking around. So
no, but right. It's like when we tell somebody or someone who asks that, that's what we tell them. It's just
go
click start streaming and evolve from there. And just that's what Disco is saying is, who knows, you'll find more passion there, and then people will see it, right? People will see your passion on that particular hobby or particular game that you're showing, a particular thing that you're streaming, right? And then you evolve from there. And sorry, I'm gonna have to bolt.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
It's movie night.
No, thanks for stopping by, AZ.
And say hi. Stop by.
Thank you for hanging out.
Have a good one, AZ.
Yeah, we'll see you, AZ. See you, man.
Don't update, AZ.
Don't do it.
I'm actually gonna leave the update button. Well, no, I'm just kidding.
No, don't do it.
Do that.
I was really hoping he said already did.
I'm already on OBS 29.
Nope, Disco, you are alone.
So far, it's just Stream Deck that's not going to work. So far.
Stream Deck has a plugin.
Yeah, I just have to re-download the new one.
Yep, they have a plugin for that. That's actually one of the easiest things to fix.
Oh, good.
Jing in chat said, the beauty is that Twitch isn't 100% algorithm based for content visibility. On YouTube, experimenting can kill your channel. On Twitch, a little experimentation may result in less viewers on those days, which is fine. Just tile your stream and notifications accurately, no clickbait. However, it's not going to stop your regulars from coming back for your regular content. Yep, 100%.
Yeah. I've changed my stuff up too to where I'm doing gaming on for half the week. So Tuesday and Wednesday I've been dedicating toward gaming, and then Thursday and Friday is for my crafting. So I've been getting some newcomers coming in on those crafting days, especially a couple with the new game that I'm playing. But at least, if there's anybody that doesn't necessarily want to do or watch me do any crafting, they at least know within my schedule, hey, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can at least watch her do games. I might bounce for like the crafting stuff if that's what I'm not into.
Fair.
I don't know if it's going to stay that way forever, but that's what I feel is kind of working for me at this moment. But I would just say, like, if you are wanting to jump into something different, like echoing what Disco said, as long as you're enjoying it, that's going to come through on the stream for your viewers to see, and they're there for you. But like once you get into a rhythm of things, if you're like, hey, maybe I just want to stick with this new craft or this new game for a long time, or maybe I just want to do crafting like one day out of the week or something, you'll eventually find what's going to work for you and your stream over a period of time. It's all just kind of like trial and error essentially, but definitely go for it.
Yeah. That always not to lessen it, but that is generally the advice. Just do it. Just do the thing. Whether it's learning to stream for the first time, if it's something that interests you, or if you're worried about adding something new to your content, try it out. Give it a shot. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. You don't have to do it again. So maybe you'll love it, and then you'll have something else that's a part of your content. So
one of the wonderful things about Twitch is, even like if you're experimenting with something, and it might not even be like a hobby that you love yet, one of the nice things is you have a whole community to find out if you love it together. Like, go try things that you've never done before. I'm throwing this out there. One of the things that I did recently with some other streamers was we epoxied a pizza. None of us had done that. We just were like, why not? And we went off and epoxied a pizza on stream and had a great time doing it. And it's something that I know I want to try again. I know a few of them will be trying it again, like just learning to epoxy. And we did it with a community. I mean, we got input from the community on things we were doing wrong, some good hot tips that we proceeded to ignore and do it our way anyways, and then go back and go, yep, we should have listened to Twitch chat. But I mean, that's one of the nice things about Twitch is you do have that full community to go and learn with. So I say just embrace that community spirit and go have fun with people.
Yeah.
I think there's like a lot of apprehension around, especially like people who are starting to see some measure of growth, right? They're starting to see that CCV going up a little bit, or it's maintaining at a reasonable place for them, and they're scared to like do something that isn't the thing that is getting them that.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on that?
I still go back to you got to be you. You got to do what you want to do and not
right.
And unfortunately, just not worry about it. If you choose to monitor that viewer count, it's going to eat away at you. And there are times where I get it. You're trying to hit certain goals, and you are worried about that constant growth, that constant community and viewership growth, but it does start to eat away at you and your soul, and it's better to just let it happen naturally. Because if after you hit those goals and you don't retain those numbers and those viewers because you do start to do the things that you want to do, then what was it all for? Instead, if you just be you, and then it naturally grows, and you're hitting the numbers that you want to hit those goals by doing what you want to do, then all of those people are going to stick around no matter what you do and what content you put out. But if you force it in there, they're not. The second you change, those people that only showed up because of that specific type of content, they may not stick around. You have to be true to yourself, so they know that you're genuine. And that's the people that stick around, the people that you've established that relationship with. That's when they show up for you and not the content that you're providing.
Well said. It's definitely something I think a lot of people need to either hear or realize. A lot of people get stuck in that grind, or they let the average viewership number be more harmful than helpful, right? Instead of using it as a small piece of just information or data that you can be like, okay, I know what that looks like. A lot of people fixate on it, and that's the problem, because it leads to burnout. It leads to a lot of decisions that are probably not in the best interests of you as a person and streamer or your community. But yeah.
Again, just Twitch is a community focused platform. If you don't want community, then make videos for YouTube. Like, that's where you are, right? But if you want that engagement, focus on your community and be yourself, and they'll stick around and hang out with you, because it's at that point you become friends, you become buddies. And a stream is just opening up your doors and inviting all of your friends over for a 4-hour party. That's basically what it is. And you guys are there to chit chat and hang out and have fun and discuss life and discuss things and talk movies and talk food and whatever else. And it's a little different on the video game side of things, but but in the makers and crafters world, that's kind of what it's about. It's about, you can discuss the craft that you're particularly doing, but a lot of that conversation spins off into other directions, and that's what people are showing up for. It has nothing to do with what's in front of you. It's just the fact that you're being genuine and natural with them.
Yeah.
Continue to do that regardless of whatever that number says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Stay's saying it correctly here. Like, you don't want it to consume you. Like, you don't want some of these goals that you can establish for yourself to absolutely consume you. And because it comes out, like, you start to notice that in the person, and so don't try not to worry about it. We say it all the time, turn that viewer count off, focus in on what you're doing and the chat that might be happening. Chat as if there are people watching at all times, even if they're not engaging in the actual messaging part of it, right? But the second that they do take the time to say anything in your chat, you better be responsive and quickly, because they're taking time to actually try to communicate with you when you've got nobody else communicating. So don't get lost. Don't get lost out there talking to yourself, or lost in the project that you're working on, and engage with them. That's what that chat window is for. That's why you're on Twitch.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Love it.
It's one of the things that I appreciate, that I don't know how recently they've done it, but I definitely noticed it more recently, and appreciated it a lot more recently, is first-time chatters. Twitch now kind of notifies that as a much bigger, notification. Hey, you have a first-time chatter here. It's, a lot easier to read that their first time, so it's easier as a streamer to pick up on that. And I do appreciate Twitch, and I don't know when it came in, but I think fairly recently, within 4-6 months, something like that. And so I'm very happy to do that, or see that, and be able to pick up on that, pull them out of that crowd. Because if you've got a busier chat going for a stream, or all of your streams, or whatever, it was difficult to pick out that new person, and it can get lost. And then, like Zach said, that person is gone. If you don't kind of engage with them in a reasonable amount of time as they reached out to you, they could be gone. So I do appreciate Twitch for putting that in. And I figured it's worth highlighting in case people don't realize that that's there. And
a huge thing.
You see that you focus on that person for a minute, 30 seconds, whatever it is, but make sure that you do try and pull them out of that crowd.
Yeah. So just that small acknowledgement, asking them how they are, how they found you, how their day is going, just anything like that, and make that connection to see if we could get them to stick, and just kind of see where it goes from there. I mean, you have to be the catalyst too, to start these conversations. Because you can wait for chat to like bring something up if it's a little bit quiet in there, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have to be like starting the conversation and keeping it going and everything. So I sometimes have trouble with this. So I typically have like a little notepad with like topics to discuss. If it does get a little too quiet, a little dead air here and there is like normal and fine. But I do want to try to like, bring something up that, could be pertaining to my, what was it, needle fencing or whatever we're talking about. Could be pertaining to that, or the Lego, or like what I'm doing this weekend.
I don't even know what I said.
Yeah.
I love
it. Just bring up something like conversation wise that might pull a chatter to like, want to, start a conversation, and then kind of get the ball rolling for other people to kind of start chit chatting as well.
Trademark needle fencing right now.
I agree.
I'm a
fan. We can trademark that.
I feel like at some point that needs to be a title for one of your streams, Ash. Just putting that out there.
Think,
or a tag.
We'll do that on Thursday.
Yeah.
Needle fencing.
Ash uses a notebook, to kind of prep some topics of conversation and stuff. Do any of you other guys, like, before you go into a stream for the day, do you prep anything specific? Notifications, announcements? Do you write stuff down? Do you plan anything?
Other than planning content for Friday nights, not much on paper or anything. Like a lot of the stuff I'll do in my head and kind of have a mental list of like, hey, here's something that happened to me that today, this week, whatever, that I want to share if things get slow or if the conversation angles that way, or even right off the top, I know I'll always kind of do an intro of like how my weekend went, how my week went, a little top 10 list on what's been going on in my life, and ask questions at the top of the stream and stuff. But I don't have a lot of things written down. It's one thing that I keep saying I should, because there definitely are streams where I'll press the end stream and be like, oh yeah, there was a whole topic I was going to talk about, and that big 30 seconds of like lull air, or more like that 5 minutes of lull air, would have been a great time to talk about that, but it's gone. But so I do like the idea of writing things down. If I was a more organized person for streams, I would. I mean, I do too much organizing in real life that sometimes I don't want
like
to
forget
streaming.
that.
Yeah,
I do. I use Notion, which is an app that lets me track that stuff. It used to be more like, here are possible things to talk about, because at the time I was a bit smaller and I felt like I needed more targeted things to talk about. I think as you grow, it's a little easier not to need those things, or you just get used to it. So I don't use it for that so much anymore, but I do use it for certain announcements, like, need to remind people that this stream is happening if I'm doing something special, or if I'm trying to do something, like when Crossing the Streams was getting started. Like, that was always like AZ and I joke about this, and I tease him for not having one, and I think he teases me for having one. I have a pre-stream checklist, and it's like, turn on my bot, make sure it's connected, have my media player on, make sure that it's routed to the stream. Like, I have a checklist because I forget like all those things. So I'm that guy. It works for me. I don't think everyone I mean, it's helpful. If it's not your style, I get it, but I am that person. And so it helps me get kind of in like the routine. Like, I have it up and I glance at it, but especially when I'm getting accustomed to like doing certain types of streams, I will have that up and ready to go. So like when I was getting started with Crossing the Streams too, I always had a bullet list up in Notion on one screen saying, hit these 4 things every time, and then see where it goes. And so, and if you're paying attention to those episodes, you'll see what those are. But obviously, I don't do that as much now. But it's usually when I'm doing something different or new for me.
The setup or the checklist at the top of the stream, I find really important as well. I mean, I think that helps cut down, especially if you're a newer streamer, that will help cut down on some of those technical problems right off the bat. Like if you have a checklist of, do these 4 checks right on the stream, a big bullet point for send out tweet saying you've gone live, which is something that I still only do half the time. And I've got it on a note. So just making a list of things to do to help it'll cut down on some of those technical issues right off the bat, or at least you'll know it's a technical issue and you can deal with it when you're live. Like a lot of stuff I'll do in that first kind of 5 to 10 minutes, the starting soon screen. That's where I'll write out the tweet and stuff like that, and try and get a bunch of the work done there. I do find that list helps, so I would highly recommend that for especially any new streamer, and add to it. It's one of the things that I probably don't do is keep adding to that list of, hey, this thing keeps breaking on me every stream at the beginning. Like I should put a check in place or something. But
I was going to ask that as a follow-up question. Do you guys note that stuff when something's broken or like something you're like, oh, I need to fix that? Because I know that I'll forget if I don't. Like I notice something like an alert breaks or like something pops up behind a source and I don't want to fix it in that moment. If I don't write it down, I just forget. I'm so reliant on all that.
I'm such a pro streamer that I tend to fix it while I'm streaming.
Oh yeah.
Because I'll forget. I will forget. And even if I write it down,
you'll forget to look at it.
Well, right. Finding the time to do it, and I won't realize it until it's almost time to, whatever. You know, there have been so many times where 15 minutes before I've hit that go live, I'm going to hit that start streaming button. Yeah, I am adding a new alert or something because I just have like this instant like, oh my God, that's hilarious. I need to incorporate that somehow.
Yeah.
And I am like a chicken with its head cut off, running around trying to find what I want to find, the specific sound effect, the specific video, masking it out, editing it real quick, uploading it, hitting a test button, and then we're time to go live. Like, it's so stupid. I don't know why I do that, but it's like it's a thing that like the minute I have a inspiration pop in there, I've got to do it right then and there.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I recorded your scare alert. It was like that day, I think it got onto your stream and it randomly came up in conversation with AZ and Fred. And I jokingly said it. I was like, I could record a scare alert. Like, I didn't even 100% mean it. I was like, I'll record that for Zach if you guys want it. And AZ's like, no, do it. I'm like, okay. So I had a YouTube, I was listening to like lo-fi hip hop on YouTube. So I pause it and I pull up Audacity and I go like, I find a scary alert and I play it and I have a good chuckle at a couple different ones. I find one and then I just go, this is a scare alert. And then I hit stop. I listened to it once. It's like, that's pretty good. And then I like save. And then I like send it to AZ and he's like, no, this is perfect. I'm like, all right, I get it. I get the last minute inspiration of like, hey, I want to do something really cool for it. And I think to Zach's point, that's how some really cool memes just happen. Like something randomly just sparks in your brain and then it becomes an alert that day. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Does somebody like Ash, like you said earlier that you used to get fairly nervous before you went live, right? Does writing stuff down like that ahead of time help just calm those nerves for you?
Yeah, I mean, it can sometimes, at least with like conversation topics. Because I mean, months prior, I mean, chat would just be like non-existent for like maybe the first 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd be sitting there just like talking in like the hopes that somebody would, maybe be in conversation with me. So, which is why I like always have that little list of conversation topics up. Like now, I mean, like I'll still like jot stuff down, but now with like more people present within my chat, it's not always necessary. It's just there's like a backup pretty much, which is why I have it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like chat just goes down, like we go down like 15 different rabbit holes in like a matter of like 20 minutes or something,
Yeah.
So it's not like a necessity so much.
I feel that I'm in the same boat where like I used to have those things and nowadays it's a little easier. It kind of depends on the day, but most of the time it's like, here's all the people bringing up random topics. We were talking earlier, I wanted to touch on this about the new user or like the new new user highlight that Disco brought up in your stream. This is totally a taste thing. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. But do you call that out in your chat? Do you single them out? Say, hey, we got a new user here, let's welcome them? Or do you just kind of low-key welcome them to make them feel welcome and not point out that they're new?
I just say welcome in. And
Yeah,
their
I mean,
name.
like if they're chatting, I mean, if they say, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you. I hope I said your name correctly.
Yeah.
If you want, do you want to tell us like how you found us, or are you interested in needle fencing or whatever?"
Are you
Um,
down with needle
and a lot of the
fencing?
time they're like very receptive and like will chat back with me. But as far as like if anybody's just like new and lurking, like I don't keep all that up. I never
Obviously,
call it
yeah.
any lurkers or anything like that.
Oh
But
God, no.
mm-mm.
I
Yeah.
I always
do
hated that when I
highlight.
was a lurker.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't.
Yeah.
No.
No one should do that.
Don't do
Mm-mm.
that.
No.
You all heard my story on that, right? Oh, go ahead,
no.
Disco. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do mention that they're welcome into a first time chatter. I know I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just what I do. I mean, now that you bring it up, I can see the downside because now you're kind of highlighting that they're first time chatter, and that could put them off. But it's something that I still do. I'm not sure how I feel about it now that you've
I mean,
brought it
I don't
up.
think there's
And
a right or wrong
not
way.
that-
I just
yeah,
think it's
no,
something
that's-
to consider how you would want to approach it. So let me be clear there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew that you had no agenda or you were saying right
Yeah.
or wrong. It was more a question. I just, as soon as you bring it up, my
You're
brain
like, oh
flips.
no.
I'm like, oh, I can see the downside to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But
It's kind of like
I play devil advocate to myself all the time.
it's kind of like new follows or offline follows. I feel like there's no right way, but I personally see how some people, like I know some people on Twitch specifically offline follows so they don't get their name called out or don't want to make a big deal out of it. And so I don't personally call those out, but I also see the flip side of like you want to be welcoming, you want to be like, hey, thank you. Like I want to recognize that. So I see both sides. So personally, I don't call out names on new follows or offline follows. I'll thank them. I'll be like, hey, thanks for the follow, or hey, we got a new friendo. Thank you for that. But like I see both sides of it, and I was curious to see what y'all do.
On that note, do you know if a first time chatter goes into someone's stream when they're offline, whether or not the next time they're live it shows up? I'm just suggesting that because you had mentioned, some people follow offline for I can't even say the word, but being anonymous. I wonder if that would work for chatting.
Anonymity.
Anonymity? I don't know. I never thought about that. That is some definite avoidance there. But I honestly don't know how that works.
Here's the thing though, if they were that strategic about they wouldn't even chat. Like if they didn't want to be acknowledged, then they just won't chat.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Zach. I think they probably wouldn't say something. I think what's interesting is like there's two systems in play now that are being tested on Twitch. I don't know how widely rolled out they are. One system is rolled out. That is what you just pointed out earlier, DiscoDuck, with people being like first time chatter. It shows it highlights that to mods and the broadcaster. No one else sees that. There is a thing being tested across Twitch where it's in the same vein as that, but it lets the chatter opt in, where it says, would you like to introduce yourself? Say something. Like when you go to type. And so the first time you type in a new chat, some channels will do that. And if they opt into it, they say, yes, I would like to do that, or no. If they say no, it looks like a normal chat message to everyone. It'll still look like a first time chat notification to mods and the broadcaster. But if they opt into it, it actually highlights it the way it would, but for everyone. It says first time chatter to the community. And it's interesting to see how that works. But I guess I've kind of leaned on the side of like I'm going to assume unless they say something in chat they don't want to be acknowledged. I know that sounds kind of mean, but it also is like I'm erring on the side of like maybe they don't want to be called out by name. But I'll still acknowledge the follow, say thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. But if they hit follow and then they say, oh, hey, More, what's up? I'm like, oh, hey, so-and-so, welcome. And sometimes I'll throw in, thanks for the follow, because I'm going to assume at that point maybe they're cool with that. But I think everyone does it the way they should feel comfortable, honestly. Like, I don't think there's a right or wrong way. It's all preference.
I agree. You know, I make a big deal about every single follow that I can.
Yeah.
But if, you know, I will feel bad if that particular person doesn't necessarily want to be acknowledged. And what I've seen is I've seen somebody follow and not chat, which means they're there. They like the content. They're there. They're going to follow, but
they like it enough to follow.
They're there to listen.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just there to listen, whatever, you know. And so again, you know, after I make that initial big deal, I move on. But you know, there's a lot of people, you know, a lot of communities out there that they have anonymous follows up. They don't announce them. They don't whatever. And then it's up to that person that hit that follow to pop into chat and say hello, you know, at that point. And that's a different way to do it. You know, it's like you said, it's to each their own. Whatever you feel is best. Yeah.
I stand by that 100%. I think people should do whatever. I was just kind of curious on what you all do because it's fun. It's fun to know. It's fun to know.
Yeah. First time chatter, I'll just welcome in. But especially if they're a first time and they're new, and I can't figure out how the heck to say their damn name, I'm gonna be like, Popsicle Weasel, like what, you know?
Popsicle Weasel or Well Hung Meat Commander.
Yeah.
Well Hung Meat Commander. Yeah. What?
Thank you for bringing that back. By the way,
Ask Walker.
Sometimes that's how the best nicknames are done. When you can't pronounce their name, you end up with like Willie.
Willie
like,
Go Whiz.
Yeah, Willie Go Whiz.
I said Wiley Go Whiz first time I met.
Wiley Go Whiz.
Willie Go Whiz.
I was like, "Hey, Wiley Go Whiz," and I'm like, 10 seconds later, it's like, I'm in it. I totally misread that.
Well, so the Ask Walker thing, like I had seen a Skywalker in chat and had many conversations with that person, and then the way Lock Tools does they don't change the font, so
there's
it was
no
like
camel
all
case,
one, right? So it was all one word, and I'm like, Ask Walker, like it just didn't. It didn't even click.
I call him that. I call him that specifically when he and I are both in your chat. But only then. I'm like, yo, it's Ask Walker. What's up? I love it. Well, I don't want to keep you guys all night, but this has been all kinds of fun. I think I'll get ready to close it down soon. But was there any like last topics y'all wanted to touch on before we say goodnight to everyone?
No, this has been fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of anything else right now.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I jumped on.
Oh, I'm glad.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining me. I'm really glad that you all came on and we just caught up. It was really nice to catch up with you all and just talk about, you know, the whole talk shop, talking about what we're up to. And I feel like it's in a weird way cathartic as a streamer to just talk about the random crap that's out there. Not crap, but like, you know, the stuff that we do. It's
always nice to know you're not alone in a lot of the scenarios that you face and, you know, the things that happen and even the way you handle your own individual communities is as much of a different voice as each person has. There's a lot of similarities there on how we all handle the individual communities that we are a part of.
I'll definitely do this more often too. I think this is a great format. And I got to push the limits of guest star, which was my secondary agenda, was to see how well it worked. And I'd love to hear from you guys later on how it was for you, and chat. Let me know what y'all thought of this whole thing. But yeah, here's what we'll do. I think what I'll have y'all do is we'll go through each of you and just kind of quickly say goodbye and where they can find you. How about that? Let's start with in order that y'all showed up. So it was Zach.
Oh no, please! I defer. Where's she at? She's.
Oh, do you want to go?
Here.
There's Ash.
Ash, down there.
All right,
Hi,
Ash.
Somewhere. What is this?
Thanks for coming, Ash. Where can people find
Thanks
you?
for having me. I'm sorry, what was that?
Where can people find you?
Oh, that link down below. I'm there.
Just click our link.
I'm at TerrificAsheriffic. And I'll be streaming on Tuesday. Look, there's the link in chat. Isn't that cool?
Look, link in
Don't you love
chat, link below
technology?
in the guest list.
I like the guest list thing. I still like
That's
that.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
guest
it.
list.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm a big fan. Thank you, Ash, for being here. And then we'll roll on to we'll roll next to Disco Duck.
Yep. Thanks for having me on again, more. It's always been fun. Chat, you can find me by clicking the link below as well. Assuming that I get OBS working or I decide to roll it back, I should be live again on Monday.
There are guides on how to roll it back out there. Let me know if you need it.
We'll never see him again. We will never see Disco Duck.
I may
again.
just have more gray hair in my beard on Monday because or less hair because I've just been pulling it out trying to get things working. But
we got Zach.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you can find me at somewhere on Twitch. ZachMRutledge. Click the link. Click the guest link thing. Find me. I'm going to figure out how to needle fence. I'm going to let Ash teach me how to needle fence.
Needle fencing co-stream.
There it is. There it
Needle
is.
fencing co-stream. And I'll be live again on Monday. I might join AZ for a squad stream football talk on Sunday, but it all depends on what kind of mood I'm in after a Colts Kansas City Chiefs game. I don't see that going well for my Colts. So we'll see. We'll see. I might be just drinking heavily. Who knows?
I was gonna say we'll know how it went if we weren't aware. Shout out to AZpinoy who joined us earlier. Twitch.tv/AZpinoy. You'll see when he actually live tomorrow.
Destiny streamer.
Yeah. Our resident Destiny streamer. He's in chat as well. Check him out. And I'm more. Thanks for hanging out here on this stream or listening to this as a VOD or a podcast or wherever you've heard this. It has been an absolute pleasure to hang out with these wonderful people and talking to them. Thank you for listening. Thank you to everyone in chat who are here during the live recording. You're all amazing. I love you all. I love this community. You're all fantastic. I can't say that enough, but I'm going to try. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you might be, and go out there and build something.